going to preview the number 17 Baylor versus UCF women's volleyball game, which will be played November 9th at 1 p.m. Central Time on espnplus. There will be last nights as well. It is a quick turnaround for UCF, to say the least, and I'll get to them in a minute. And I couldn't preview this game earlier because I had to wait on UCF playing a game against TCU. Baylor's coming off a 3-0 win against Texas Tech on the road, and that's good to get a road win. Just get your confidence going. Oh, and still, it was 25-17, 25-18, then 28-26. Yeah, I got hairy in the third set, but they found a way to win it, so kudos to them on the resilience on that situation. So Baylor's 16-6 on the year, 8-3 in the Big 12. While UCF, I'll say this about them. They're not as good as last year's team, to say the very least. And I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. Here, and I will put like the stats on UCF in the description below, as well as the roster. So what is UCF's record? They're 8-11 overall, 1-9 in the Big 12, and their only conference win was against West Virginia, and that was a 3-0 win at home. Literally October 2nd. So they have lost every game since. Yes, they actually had one game canceled due to Hurricane Milton. So I'm just letting you know about that. I know it was against Iowa State, but I think Iowa State would have won that game if it was played. But either way, it's an unfortunate situation. So what are some players to keep an eye on for UCF? And I do not know the injury stats for UCF. I don't think there's any for Baylor right now, but I could be wrong. So Abby Schomers, number 1, is a 6-foot setter. That's a redshirt sophomore. 27 kills on 66 attempts with 3 attacking errors, 645 assists, 10 service aces, 26 service errors, no receiving errors. Okay, 118 digs, 32 blocks, 3 of those are solo, and 1 ball handling error. Then it's Chloe Shear, number 2, a 5'8" defensive specialist / libero. That's a graduate senior. 4 kills on 9 attempts with 1 attacking error, 67 assists, 19 service aces, 26 service errors, 10 receiving errors, 303 digs, which is the most on the team by far in a way. And that's it. And then there's Sasha Cohen, number 3, a 6'2" middle blocker as a redshirt freshman. 141 kills on 329 attempts with 62 attacking errors, 4 assists, 8 service aces, 34 service errors, which is the most on the team. Okay, so yeah, 1 receiving error, 56 digs, 53 blocks, which is the most on the team. 11 of those solo, and 1 blocking error, 2 ball handling errors. And there's, I want to just go over Sofia Kostavalos, Kotsovolos. I apologize if I butchered that. Number A, 5'4" libero. That's a junior. And granted, I'm just going over it because the 41 sets played, and that's really the only reason why. But obviously, if they played some players that are like 23 sets or less, and I apologize that I didn't mention, but I didn't feel like they were important at the time. So no kills on 2 attempts with 5 attacking errors. Okay. Yeah, 5 assists, 6 service aces, 13 service errors. 8 receiving errors, 84 digs. That's it. Then there's Amor, Aromour, number 10. A 6'5" outside hitter that is a sophomore. 174 kills on 547 attempts with 70 attacking errors, 7 assists, 11 service aces, 32 service errors, 26 receiving errors, 20 blocks, 10 of those are solo, 2 blocking errors. And there's Caitlin Grimes, number 11. A 5'6" defensive specialist / libero that is a senior. No kills on 1 attempt, 10 assists, 30. That's wrong number I need to mention here. It's 12 service aces, 19 service errors, 15 receiving errors, 106 digs. That's really it. And then there's Heidi Bond, Bonde. Number 12, 6'4" outside hitter that is a senior. 113 kills on 298 attempts. There's 1 assist with 50 attacking errors, obviously, and one assist. Okay, no service stuff. 3 receiving errors, 12 digs, 5 blocks, none solo, 2 blocking errors. And Alexia Kuehl, Kuehl, yeah. A 6'7" middle blocker as a redshirt senior. Whew, that's really tall. For the position, 150 kills on 272 attempts with 35 attacking errors, 3 assists, 6 service aces, 7 service errors, 16 digs, 46 blocks, 13 of those solo, 1 blocking error, 1 ball handling error. And really, I'm going to go over 2 more players, and that's Britt Carlson, number 23. A 6'4" outside hitter that is a redshirt sophomore. 159 kills on 389 attempts with 65 attacking errors, 4 assists, with no service stuff, no aces or errors. 8 receiving errors, 29 digs. Excuse me. 29 digs, 31 blocks, 7 nose solo, and 2 blocking errors. And the last player I'm going to mention is Emily Wilson, number 26. A 6'3" outside hitter that is a senior. 157 kills on 467 attempts with 61 attacking errors, 15 assists, 18 service aces, 22 service errors, 25 receiving errors, 116 digs, 12 blocks, none of those solo, and that's it. So this is practically a match that Baylor should win, and you cannot afford any unranked losses, especially to losing record teams. That would hurt your RPI, especially when you're trying to find a way to be a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. Let's just be clear, and that's the last thing I'm going to mention about that. Why it's important to win. And obviously you want to win every match. And it's another match at home, and you got to protect home floor. I mean, that's just the truth. Obviously, what you did wrong last match, got correct into this match, and what you did right last match, bring it to this one. I know that sounds Captain Obvious, but it is the truth. You got to serve tough. Get some service aces in there. And no service errors will come, but as long as you serve tough, that's a good thing. You try to limit your attacking errors. Obviously, if they do service errors or attacking errors, it's on them. And if, like footballs, you don't want to have football. Same thing goes for rotation errors. But if they do those, it's on them. I mean, it's just, and like net violations, if they do those, and same thing goes for blocking errors. I mean, obviously, you want to not have a lot of blocking errors at all and play a clean game as much as possible. Like, I know there's errors will come, but you got to serve tough and get them out of rhythm and get them out of system. Obviously, you want to be in system as much as possible. If nothing else, you just got to make adjustments on the fly. And another thing across the board, you got to come out with energy and make adjustments on the fly, not just from set 1 to set 2, set 2 to set 3, each set to set, but during those sets. And if you are trailing, be resilient. That's what you did against Texas Tech in that third set. And even that first set, when you were trailing, you came back to win that first set after being down at the media break. So really, it's just a kudos to them on that. Obviously, when you're up, like, in terms of number of points in a set, you got to protect the leads, if not extend it. I mean, and try to take away their energy and take away their as much hope as possible. And I expect them to fight, even though I know they are not that good in conference, but you can't take them lightly. And this is a trap match if I see one. You're at home, then you got to go on the road the next two, to Kansas State and then Kansas. And you got to keep yourselves in the conference race. Not necessarily for first place, because I don't think first place is going to happen because of Arizona State and Kansas is right there. And yes, I know we beat Arizona State, but that was only one of their only conference losses of the year when you look at the Big 12 standings, which I'm going to go into that. And obviously you want to do good on side outs as much as possible, do better than the opponent, have more kills than the opponent, more assists, more digs than the opponent, more service aces. Obviously, you gotta have good judgment, and obviously on the net violations, it's not like outside of the intendeds that's different. You gotta have some variety on offense. That way, you can't be so predictable. Though you could just try to ride a hot hand as much as possible if they don't have an answer, and like do some quick middles, and not just they'll help the outside hitters a lot, but it gives the middle blocker some confidence in terms of attacking, or even like a setter going for a kill like Jackie Bear, Frazier, or Harley Crack. But you get the whole point here. You got to make it tough for them. And it's good to win those long rallies because it does make a difference in some matches, even like in some sets, even if it's like really tight and all this. So I'm just saying, it's one of those things where it could really help. And you don't want, obviously you want to force overpasses and free balls as much as possible to the opponent. And if you get those come your way, you got to take advantage. And you got to have your blocking step up. And obviously you don't want to let them block you. And another thing is, you don't want to have as many overpasses and free balls as much as possible, but play solid defense. And yeah, Arizona State, its only loss this year in conference is to Baylor, and Kansas is actually only conference losses to Arizona State. So I don't know about trying to win the league at this point. But you kind of can't find a way to keep yourselves afloat for that, so to speak. But either way, let's try to finish. You got to find a way to finish strong in conference because, look, like I said earlier, you could have a shot to be a top 16 host. And you cannot afford a bad loss. And they have literally all the pressure, no pressure on them. So don't be shocked if they come right at you and play with no fear. I mean, it's just telling the truth, but you got to make adjustments. Like, just try to deter their confidence as much as possible. And don't be intimidated by them at all. And yeah, there might be some questionable officiating at times, but you gotta keep it cool and be the more mentally tougher team. And let's go out there and show them who's boss, especially at home. And I will say this, Baylor's undefeated when they have taken the first set this year. Yeah, I know they won 2 matches without it, but you don't want to press your luck. I mean, and obviously trying to get them down and out as much as possible. and let's just go to work, give our best shot. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. On the road to 7 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So my money out this course. Like a video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm so more people see us. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. And this is prior to all the Friday games being played. To be honest, on the conference, like what I said about Arizona State being a one-loss team in conference, the same thing goes for Kansas because they do actually play tonight. Kansas plays Arizona, and Kansas State plays Arizona State. Maybe Arizona State trips up. And that wouldn't be a bad thing if they do, because if they lose 2 more times or 3 more times, then we'll own a head-to-head because we won the match against them, Remember that. And obviously, if Kansas were to lose, that would open the door a little bit for us to get the head-to-head with Kansas, assuming that we do beat all the other unranked teams on the schedule. I mean, as well as beat Kansas, because that would mean, we go on the head-to-head against them now too. So that's kind of why I say you got to come out with a little bit of urgency. You got to keep yourselves afloat in the conference standings to be in the top 4 in the league. And not only that, you have a shot to be a top 16 seed. And in order to be a top 16 seed, you got to win out as much as possible. So that's the last thing I'm going to say about this match.